What struggles do you face being a single mother or parent that you face without your spouse?
Well, when I was a single parent, my struggles were financial struggles. My struggles were thinking about my child being raised without a father figure in the home. I struggled with my child knowing how a man is supposed to treat a woman. I had heartache um, just trying to foresee my child in a world where she didn't know what a husband, a boyfriend, or a male role model or figure would be like in her life. So mostly those were my struggles and financial.
Is there anything that you feel is or was challenging when your spouse was in the house when you're used to doing it by yourself?
Yes, because being by myself, I made all of the decisions, where we're going to go, what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear. I didn't have to answer to no one. When the spouse came into the home, it no longer was my decision. I had to run it past someone, and that was hard. Um, Being a single parent for so long and making all of the decisions, it's hard to relinquish um, some of those roles or decision making things over to your spouse or with your spouse. Um, Also had to learn to um, allow my spouse to make decisions when it came to my child. Um, we had different parenting skills. We had different outlooks on financial obligations, um, where or how we should vacation. It was just very different. It was hard to do, but eventually it became easy.
Okay, do you believe welfare was intentionally invented to tear black families apart, being as though in the 60s you couldn't get it without with a man being in the house?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
Um, well, in the 60s, yes, they gave us or they gave families this stipend, but if your husband was without work and he couldn't be in a household just so you can get food stamps, that's tearing the black families apart. That kept the children from having that two-parent household, to seeing the love and the role of a male role model. Yes, I think it was designed to intentionally tear us apart. It has created such a our women have become hardened. Um, we do everything on our own because we had to learn early in the years to do things on our own, make the decisions, not have to answer to anyone. What was the second part of your question?
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about it? It makes me very angry because we're still suffering today from the effects of what happened back in the 60s because our parents have taught us to be independent. Our parents have taught us to stand strong and independent from a man. So it's like a cycle. It's almost like a generational curse to our people.
Did you say action or something?
Okay,
Yeah.
action.
Okay, what challenges did I now face? Um, the most difficult challenge that I face is parenting four different personalities. Alone. Okay, so making the transition from, I guess, being a single parent, to then being
Like having them back in the house, something
in
like that.
or reconciling. I guess that's where this
Yeah.
question is going. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I guess that's where the question was going. So right now, in contrast, being a single parent and then reconciling, uh, the biggest challenge then would be, sharing the roles, that I'm accustomed to doing alone. Budgeting, parenting styles, just the culture of the household, It has its pros and cons, but the greatest challenge would just be that readjustment.
My life or my financial life differs now because everything is solely on me. The burden is tremendously heavier. A two-parent job put on one person is definitely burdensome. All of his expenses are on me, even down to little things, and the little things add up. So it's very stressful.
So how do you push through it and without going insane? Because I know Jace is 1 and he's going to terrible 2s. So how does that weigh on your stress and everything?
I have no choice but to keep going forward. When you become a mom, you have no choice. I love him. You see? I love him so much. But as a mom, you have no choice but to keep moving forward. But my motivation is him, ultimately. And I know that I have to get the job done. And I know I will get the job done. So, yeah.
How did your financial life as a single parent differ from when you were a spouse?
I became a single woman in 2012, going into 2013. So from 1998 to 2013, I was married and co-parenting in one household with my husband and my 5 daughters. After that, it didn't really become compromising for me because he supports his children, so it wasn't compromising for me, but it still is tough being in a household, being a single mom.
Okay, what struggles do you face being a single mother or parent that you didn't face with your spouse?
The struggles I face being a single mom in a household with 5 daughters is, the main factor is they are girls. And in a day-to-day life, I am very concerned about their safety. And having their dad in the household one point at night, it made me a little bit more safer. But now that it's just us, I'm a little bit more on edge because it's all women in the house. But I handle it.
Do you agree with the fact that single women-headed households are more likely to live in poverty than men?
Absolutely not. I've never lived in poverty. I was a teen mom as well as a single mom. So I have been on both spectrums, and I've always hustled and did what I needed to do. So no, I think if you push and do what you need to do for yourself and your children, there shouldn't be any problems. Poverty is, to me, a very strong word, and I just feel like at some time, not all the time, it's a choice. And my theory is, as long as you have breath in your body, you should be able to provide. Unless you're disabled or sick, you should be able to provide. It's hard, yes, granted, but if you put your good foot forward and hustle and do what you need to do and keep your children first, it should never be a problem. I've been married, divorced, a teen mom. I have been through it all, and I'm still standing. So I'm a true testimony that it is possible. So always go for what you want to go for and push, and you could do it. Thank you. I'm Vanessa Devonish. I wish you guys all the best. Bye.
What struggles did you face as a single parent that you didn't face with your spouse?
The struggles I faced being a single parent was probably different from most. I want to start off by saying became a widow at a very young age. So here I was in a household with 4 children now, where they didn't have my husband kind of setting standards for the household. So I had to become a different type of parent, meaning I had to kind of play both roles. Wasn't the easiest, especially when you have kids that were grieving for their dad. So all in all, I just had to make some bigger decisions for the best of our household. I'm pretty sure sometimes it was more difficult than other times, just from the kids kind of having a different type of mom at that particular time. And plus I had to kind of shut off my feelings for grieving as well. But all in all, we became a stronger household. We had a lot of respect for each other, and our bond was tremendous. And to this day, I think about how difficult it was 13 years ago.